we've all been working on it for too long now, so it's really exciting to finally get to properly share all what we've been working on with you guys and what you will also hopefully be working on. What is Sprung? Cassie?
Well, if we're going to break it down, Sprung is a festival of arts and creativity. So we focus predominantly on performance art, but there's physical art, musical art, and every kind of creativity you can possibly think of, as well as music, food, and games and more. So this year, the catchphrase is capture the moment. So all of those interactivity and highly capturable moments will really centre this year. And this year, our Sprung dates cover from the 25th of September through to the 5th of October. So kind of those end of session moments.
So it'll be around the Ponton Theatre and the Communications Hub, which will be surrounded by fun, interactive spaces for the audience to get involved in.
Yeah. So basically, how does it work? So after today, after you've watched all our pictures and the 7 other companies that have to present to you today, I will be posting online a schedule for the audition days. Our audition dates are this coming Friday and Saturday, that's the 19th and 20th, and those times go Friday 12 until 8 p.m. and Saturday 9:30 until 5 p.m. You are not expected to be there that whole time, don't worry, but it is always good to hang, if you're auditioning for a lot of shows, interviewing for a lot of shows, hang around, bring a book, bring some food, have a chat, watch Netflix, I don't know, and just have a really good time. So follow our Facebook for details and updates. That's the Sprung Festival page. It's called Sprung Festival, yes, awesome. And then also we'll be creating a Sprung Facebook group once companies have been decided. Please read our schedule carefully. So when I do put out that audition and interview schedule, read it carefully. This year our companies are doing slightly varied things in how they want to audition. Some may do a 2-hour audition slot where you're going to cover so much in a big group atmosphere. Then one show is doing just individual auditions and everything in between. So really read that carefully and start to kind of plan out how you might want to do your 2 days. Please make sure, come in, audition and interview for as many as you can. It's always a really good experience. When I was in 1st and 2nd year, I liked to save the one I really wanted for last and get some practice up in other interviews and auditions. It's always a good idea. So before you leave for the final time for auditions, whether that's 2 p.m. Friday or 5:30 Saturday, whenever you leave, make sure you hand in a Sprung preference form. When you come in for the first time, you'll be handed a preference sheet. This will have all your contact details and unavailabilities, things like that, as well as preferencing what show you really, like number 1 you absolutely want to do and what role, and then your 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th choice. That'll all be explained to you as you rock up on the day, so don't stress, but just make sure you are handing in a form right before you leave. It'll be very self-explanatory. Also, bring a friend. We want as many people involved with Sprung this year as possible, as many theatre media and other students that we maybe haven't met before, new friends. Bring your dorm, bring your buddies, come have a fun in a group audition, come play some theatre games, dance to some music. I don't know what these guys are planning, but I know it's going to be super duper fun. So come along, bring people, and have a good time. So, all of that being said, we are your first company pitching to you today. We are the Sprung team. I myself am acting as Sprung coordinator this year. Cassie here is a head of PR and marketing, and Anna is our festival designer.
Brilliant.
So yeah, how this works is we are in charge of making sure our festival runs as smoothly as possible and getting as many people to it as possible and making it look awesome. So we are kind of that connective piece to all the other companies. We keep everything running. We are thinking about the festival as a whole 2-week experience rather than focusing on our specific show that's happening. So I myself, as festival coordinator, am in charge of all of the scheduling, budgeting, running whole cohort meetings, interacting with all the production managers of each company, and keeping everything smooth between all the different companies.
So as PR and marketing manager, I'm kind of looking at the outward face of the festival, so it's my job to make sure that we get sponsors so that we have enough money to do all the things that we want to do. It's my job to make sure we get people there, so all of the posters and Facebook branding and website and all of that is kind of my focus, and just making sure that the outward face of Sprung Festival as a whole is really consistent and clear, and everyone knows what's going on, and it looks like a lot of fun.
So I am the festival designer, and it's my job to transform and bring the space surrounding the Ponton Theatre and Creative Hub to life. So I'll be doing this by creating an eclectic journey for the audience to endeavour on into Sprung.
So all of that being said, we are looking for 3 people to join our team. First person we're looking for is an assistant coordinator. So your role as assistant coordinator is to assist me, essentially. My role is very, very big and covers a lot of ground, and my brain is in 15 million places at once. So it's someone to be my right-hand man and help me with all the things that come up. This year that's going to include helping me with the scheduling, helping me run meetings, liaising with all the different production managers and companies, as well as being instrumental in running front of house for the 2 weeks. Won't be all on you, but you help me run front of house and organise all of that, as well as helping me organise the Sprung launch party, which this year is going to be at the Victoria down on Keppel Street, which is really exciting. We have that all locked in, so get keen for that. And yeah, so that you'll be my little right-hand man. So I need someone who loves, you know, spreadsheets and documents and meetings and just being generally organised and is on top of it all with me. And if that's something you really want to work on, this is also a really good space to do that in.
Yeah, so I'm looking for an assistant marketing. So this role is really kind of flexible because we have so many platforms that we're working with, whether it's our specific Facebook pages, CSU-based Facebook pages, as well as our web, and then we're doing radio and maybe even a TV ad. So it's really like specific to where your interests lie. If you want to do kind of longer, more write-up pieces, we can make that work for you. But we'll definitely need a lot of social posting. If you're into video and filming, we can definitely make that happen because we're going to have a few promo videos coming out. So I just want someone who's like ready to crack in and just like create some content and just have fun with it, because it's a really great role and we can do some fun things with it.
And I'll be looking for an assistant designer. So if you're motivated and into art and creating and building things, then come and join me. I'll be spending a lot of time in the workshop with Carl. I was assistant design last year, and it was so much fun. So come and see me if you're into design.
A really awesome thing about joining Sprung Team, we've all actually been on Sprung Team previous to this year and have come back for more because we had such a good time. A really good thing about being on Sprung Team is if you are thinking about maybe one day coordinating or festival designing or doing the PR and marketing side, being the assistant to that role is a really good way to first-hand learn about it. Obviously you'll see us around, you'll see us running and going, but you won't get to see kind of firsthand unless you are in that room with us. So come join Sprung Team, it's going to be so much fun, we're going to have a great time, and yay pink and yellow! To our next company's pitch, and that is Beyond the Tavern.
So we want to get a 1 because the higher numbers are bad, right?
No, we want to get a 6 because 1 is bad.
Oh. Okay, well how about you roll and I'll watch.
Oh, okay. Alright. Well, take this.
Now me.
Right, this is it. Finish him!
What the?
Hello everybody, we are Beyond the Tavern. I'm Natasha Ham, I'm the director for this production. I'm Katie Cowan, I'm going to be the head of design.
And I'm Emily Webb. I'm going to be the production manager and cast as Infinite.
So Beyond the Tavern is a comedic adventure which is interactive and also semi-improvised stage production. It was directly inspired by the pop culture game Dungeons & Dragons, which is where it gets its medieval fantasy from. This show has multiple eccentric characters, which Katie is about to go through.
So the main core of our cast revolves around these 4 young gallivanting crew who go on all these adventures together. First up, we have Luke Skytrekker, a gallivanting young knight who is our human fighter. If you ask him, he would like to say that he is the very masculine, strong leader of the group. The girls would probably say otherwise. Next up, we have Amber Brawn Anvil. She is a rugged young dwarf, and she's a very sly and sneaky rogue. Whenever the crew gets into fight, she's the one who keeps the most level head and gets them all out of it. Next up, we have our darling Rivernell. Many would believe that as an elf, she's a bit high and pretentious, but all you have to do is get a chat and maybe break her out into a bit of a song, and she's the most charismatic of the group. As our bard, she actually specialises in magical healing. Finally, in the main crew, we have our half-orc Kath. He was injured in a battle and suffers from amnesia, so many think that he's not really all there that much. But when you get in a fight, you really want him beside you because as the barbarian, he gets rowdy. Our final character of this play is the Dungeon Master, Alex. This character is a bit more meta than the others. They interact directly with the audience, and they're kind of the orchestrators of the entire play, and they help the audience decide where this is going to go, what's going to happen in this shenanigans. The good thing about the Dungeon Master is if you would want a bit of more variety in your role, it is a smaller cast one, so you can double up with a production and technical role, so you can get a lot of experience in other roles. And on to the production with Emily.
So we are looking to fill 6 production roles. We're looking to fill the roles of stage manager, set designer, assistant designer to Katie here, lighting designer and operator, sound designer and operator, and AV designer and operator. So if any of these roles sound like a good time to you, come along to auditions and interviews on Friday and Saturday. We would love to see you there.
Up next, we have the lovely girls of Forget Me Not.
To tell you all about our show and hopefully soon your show, Forget Me Not.
So to introduce ourselves, I am Artie Hotchkiss. I am the co-writer and the lighting designer.
My name is Emma Van Veen. I am the co-writer and director.
I'm Danny Rayner. I'm the stage manager.
And I'm Taylor Dawson. I'm the production manager.
So, if you had 6 months to live, you'd plan your funeral as a ridiculous, immersive theatre experience. Right? That flies in the face of God and propriety. Correct?
Trapped between what she wants and what's, actually achievable, our story follows Sarah, an eccentric young artist who's taken it upon herself to produce her own funeral. Never one to follow the norms, she's making it an eccentric theatrical production that no one's ever seen before.
She's helped along the way by her old university friends who are unaware of the extent of the production they're putting on. How will they react when her secret is revealed? You'll have to come and find out.
Self-reflective to a fault, Sarah's psyche takes the story to heart-wrenching and hilarious heights as she contemplates what it means to be remembered and also to not be forgotten.
Now, we want to take a moment to acknowledge that our show does have some heavy themes. We like to say it's not about death, but we have to acknowledge that death is, there. There is discussions around mental illness, loss, and grief, but we think they're really important conversations to have as young people.
With that being said, it's going to be a really fun and exciting space for our cast and crew to play in. We're going to be using projections, puppetry, masks, everything we can to bring this story to life and make something worth remembering.
So now we'd love to introduce some of the roles that we'd love you guys to fill, starting with our cast. Firstly, we have Sarah. She's our female leading role. She's a young artist, much like most of the people in this room, I'm sure, who is very concerned with the idea of legacy. This role will provide a great opportunity for anyone looking to really sink their teeth into a major performative role. We also have 3 ensemble roles, James, Alison and Tara. These roles provide a number of really interesting opportunities. Not only are they human characters, but they also double as these mysterious masked figures. So it's a really great opportunity for a unique performative role. We will also be doubling these roles with roles on our production team. So if you want to develop skills both on stage and off stage, these will be really great for you. We will also be using gender-blind casting for these roles, so anyone can play them. However, we are looking to keep a clear relationship in the show, either between Alison and Tara or Harris and Chase.
And our production roles, we're looking at filling our AV designer, set designer and costume designer. So as previously mentioned, we're looking at doubling roles, so these roles will be filled and doubled with our minor cast roles. We're looking for people who are motivated, willing to learn and willing to push themselves and the boundaries, as aesthetic is an integral part of the show. We'll be working closely with the production team to create an interesting and unique space. We really look forward to having you on our team as well.
So, auditions. They are on Friday and Saturday, as previously said by our beautiful Sprung team. We are going to be running both group and individual auditions. It's really important that you show up to both. And we're so excited to see you guys there. And now,
dangerous military action. America should be ashamed right now.
Everything you just heard there was, of course, this will shock you.
Unbound by checks and balances.
The inhumane,
Funded
incompetent,
terrorists,
the death throes
reckless
of
behavior,
and rank hypocrisy.
fighting countries, which is lying to cover that. Intimidate people to say you're a dog.
It's just been made on national
Well, where do you think it ends? In tears.
Woo!
Thank you. Hello, I'm Max. I'm the co-writer and director of One Morning in June.
I'm Julian, a co-writer and playing the role of President of the United States.
And I'm production manager and I'll be working with the crew.
Set entirely within the White House Situation Room, One Morning in June is a pressure cooker, character-based drama that is as tense as the President's state of mind. A national security threat has the potential to destroy friendships, egos, and possibly an entire country. Only President Kirkland has the power to save himself, but does he want to?
We're looking to cast 3 major roles for this production. Preferably a male second year for Jack Brady, the President's Chief of Staff, female first or second year for Joanne Wade, the National Security Advisor, and a male or female first or second year for Military Warhawk General Maxfield. Crew roles can be used for these latter 2, so we greatly encourage first years to try out for these.
There are 4 production roles on offer for One Morning in June. Our first role is that of the stage manager. Now our stage manager will play an active part in this production. They'll work closely with Max, our director, in the rehearsal room, as well as calling the show. Our next roles are our design roles. Now, we have, for our design vision, we'd like our audience to feel as if they're actually sitting inside the White House Situation Room. To achieve this, we require a set designer/construction, and their role essentially is to design, source, and create the scenic elements of our production. The next role is that of the AV sound designer/operator, and for this show, we'd like AV and sound to play a major part. Our final role is our lighting designer and operator, and as with AV and sound, we'd like lighting to play a crucial role in building the dramatic tension and mood of the piece. Now, more information will be provided to you at our auditions on Friday and Saturday.
We hope to see you at those auditions in the coming days, and we hope you'll join us this Sprung Festival in the Situation Room. Thank you.
Mate, jeez, fuck.
Space, the final frontier. But even in space, there's one universal truth. And I'll tell you, Maxwell, everybody poops. Even the cromulons of Cromulon 5. That's a place in space, right? So, Plum Man the Musical, 2519, the musical is a comedic rock and roll musical about love and family and space, really. That's a big part of it. Original songs that we've written, it's like, hits that you might have heard, like Humans Need Oxygen and Computer Lover, open brackets, I love computers, close brackets. That's probably my favourite one. What do you think, Chris? I'm Lewis. I'm Lewis Mitchell. I'm the director and musical director for Plum Man 2519, the musical.
I am Christopher Monaghan. I am head of design / set design for Plum Man 2519, the musical.
I'm Brittany Myers, and I am the production manager choreographer for Plumber Man 2519, the musical.
I'm Riley Holland, and I'm being the Plumber Man in Plumber Man 2519.
So for the design of the show, the designers will be working really closely with me so basically our theme is, it's that late 60s, early 70s campy sci-fi, think like Flash Gordon, Barbarella, really bright, really big design with, of course, everyone loves their moments of Australiana strewn throughout. For our cast roles.
Alright, so for our cast roles, we're sort of looking for a 16-year-old kid. It can be male or female. Yeah, so you don't have to be 16, but they're 16 to show. So we're going to go to Laney High, so I don't know what we're talking about. So they are a bit gothic, a bit emo, so they're pretty fun. And then we've got Sharon, my computer lover, which is a female. And then we've got our ensemble roles. They're playing things like a mayor, space mafia, my boss, the space mafia boss. So they're going to have some fun roles there. And they can also do other things. Yeah.
So we are also looking for a couple of production roles on the part of the company. So we are looking for a sound designer and operator, which will be a really awesome experience because aside from creating pre-recorded sound, you also get to play with live mics with a live band. So that'll be an amazing experience, having a soundboard that will be all yours during the show. We're also after a stage manager, someone to work with us over the course of the production, to run rehearsal rooms, get a bit of documentation together, and then run the show once we get into the Ponton. We're also after a AV designer and operator, someone to create some in-show moments. This person can also be a dual role with an ensemble role. So if creating videos is something that you're interested in, but being on stage is also something that you think would be an amazing experience, that is something where you can do both. Another option for you is costume and hair and makeup, where you will get the chance to design the look of 2519. So what does Earth and space look like 500 years in the future? And you'll get the chance to create that look, as well as maybe be on stage.
Woo!
Yeah, I want everyone to know it's Friday and Saturday,
Yeah,
like every other show.
We'll be running group auditions for our ensemble members,
You just turn up, you don't have to have anything prepared, you play a couple of games, sing a couple of songs, just gives you a chance to kind of chill out. We can have a look at what you can do. If you are interested in any of our 2 lead roles, so Sharon or the kid, we do have individual auditions where you will need to prepare a little snippet of a song, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, and you will get a chance to work with our beautiful Riley Holland, just to see how you two work together. And then if you are interested in a production role, we have interviews. Just show up, have a chat with us. That'll be awesome. Alrighty, and coming up next, we'd like to introduce the beautiful Gregrin and her production, Industrial Paradise.
Hi guys, my name's Gregrin, but please refer to me as G, Jeej, or Gigi. So much easier. So I would like to introduce to you today Industrial Paradise, a fashion showcase event that will be showing the general public that they can make their own clothes, that instead of spending over $10,000 a year, which is what the average woman spends. And I read that, I almost had a heart attack, but then I realised, looking back on all the clothes receipts from a shopping spree, it's not hard to make that $10,000 a year. So Industrial Paradise is an event that showcases various items of clothing. What I want to do is have 5 to 6 models dressed in clothes that I make and design, and then put them up on stage. I would also like to create just a binder almost for the design process, starting from the inspiration all the way through to what the audience sees on stage in front of them. My role is as production manager, director, costume designer, and set designer. The models, I would really love for them to be non-theatre media students, just to get everyone else on the campus involved. But at the same time, if you see a production role and you want to double up in my show, we can work something out. So the characters that the models will be dressed as are the lover, the punk, the teacher, the artist, the Mad Hatter, and the ringmaster. So the production roles that all I need is a costume maker and a lighting designer. These roles can be doubled up. If you want to do lighting design, you can play around with a bit of AV, sound, some fancy lighting effects, but you don't have any costume skills, that's okay. The only reason I have a costume maker is to help me with a lot of hot gluing. TM lifesaver. And I'd also like to have a stage manager, just someone who can help me with rehearsals, keeping everything on time. When the show comes to perform, they can make sure that the models are running on and off stage, their cues are ready, the costumes are ready, everything's ready to go. And that's pretty much it, short but sweet.
Hello, first of all, could you everyone please close your eyes?
Does anyone else miss the feeling of their palms crusted with clad glue after a really good art sesh?
Do you miss slapping on that Zupaduper on a hot summer's day?
Or do you miss just pushing in front of your mate in the line to the tuck shop to get that super duper?
I'm Heather Edmonds.
I'm Sam Mulligan.
And I'm Jaden Nichols.
And welcome to Class 3-4S.
Sprung Primary School is in session, and we're taking you back to a time where the most important decision of the day was what to put on your lunch order.
Class 3-4S will transform the Creative Hub into a multi-zoned immersive theatre wonderland where the audience is invited to undertake a participatory experience exploring play, creativity, what it means to make art, and all through the lens of childhood nostalgia.
This project is an interactive, immersive theatrical exhibition that explores the idea of, as Heather said, creativity and play. Cast members will guide the audience through the Creative Hub, which will be divided up into multiple zones to really get that primary school feel through creativity and art.
Using the elements of sound, lighting, set, and collaboration with our creative minds as a company, we're going to transform the Creative Hub into a whole new world, based on a primary school and mainly focusing on you guys, the audience. We want the audience to be the main character for this experience.
So this production is inspired by immersive performances such as Sleep No More and A Midnight Visit, and it's going to be a devised and semi-improvised piece, and we need 5 company members.
I'll be the production manager of this project, Heather is the director, and Janda is the sound designer / technical advisor.
So who do we need? As they said, we need 5 roles, and all these roles are going to be doubled up. So we're going to need cast and set designer, cast assistant set designer, because it's going to be a mad set, and cast audio visual and lighting design, cast and an assistant to that audio visual and lighting design, because that will take some work, and cast and stage manager and assistant production manager helping Sam.
So as you might have seen, we've got a lot of dual roles. This gives everyone the opportunity to try a bit of everything and not just stuck to one particular role. Given that this is a non-traditional performance, we've decided to split this up into 2 sections. We've got the build and we've got the rehearsal, each happening weekly. The rehearsals will be led by Heather. This will be a divisive moment and will be the main feature to help guide the audience along. And the build will be led by the set designer and us 3, which will basically create the set and help that create that primary school feel.
So why should you want to join Class 3-4S? Well, it's going to be a really interesting experience as a company member. It's not a traditional script-in-hand play we're doing, but a total creative, unique live event. As well as when we graduate, if we want to be a theatre maker, it's so important that we have skills of like improvisation and devising so we can make our own work and our own creative content. And that's what we'll be doing in rehearsals and really building on those skills. It's also really important whether you're a performer or a designer to understand how a production works from all angles, so you'll get that experience. And who doesn't love getting down and dirty in the workshop?
So the nature of this show and our company is that we want everyone involved to have as much creative freedom as possible. So we don't want no pressures at all. So for example, if you're a performer that loves being on stage but isn't too confident on the behind the scenes stuff, this is a great opportunity to get those skills and develop those traits as an artist and creator.
Absolutely. So we would love to see all of you on Friday and Saturday. We'll do group auditions and interviews. Don't be scared of the group auditions. It's just going to be really fun, low pressure, improv and devising games.
And the interview gives us a chance to get to know you better as a designer and an artist. Thank you so much for listening.
Don't forget that gold coin for the canteen. Don't get detention.
And please welcome our final Sprung team. Good morning.
Saskia, I'll be production manager and cast.
I'm Sonia, I'm the stage manager and writer.
And I'm Hannah, and I'll be the director. When I was 8 years old, my dad died of cancer. Sorry to kill the mood a little bit. He found out he had 3 months to live, and yeah, to the day, that's when he died. And this performance and sort of project is looking at loss from all different angles, but from my story.
So Good Morning is an art installation that displays anonymous and individual experiences with grief. We've all lost something before, a pair of undies, marbles, dad. So presented in the Creative Hub, so it'll be a non-traditional space. The audience will be invited to delve into a world presenting stories of various scales of grief through spectacle, audiovisual design, and soundscape. So in the Creative Hub, you'll be invited to enter the room and spend about 15 minutes roaming around before the performance begins. So each piece and experience of grief is completely different and therefore entirely the same.
After the immersive portion of it, you enter the theatre in the round section with a lot of scattered seating, grab your own spot sort of deal. It follows the 3 months of Hannah's story with her dad in a sort of untraditional and organic way, I guess. Sounds wanky. Hey, you're right. A lot of dancing, a lot of trampolining. What have we got? Projections, that's going to be fun. And we find out why Hannah thinks every magpie is the spirit of her father.
And there is a trampoline in the centre of the Creative Hub.
That's pretty great.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right, so we have a couple of roles on offer. The show will be semi-devised, so our cast members will be helping us to put together specific parts of the show, and they will each be playing multiple roles throughout. We're also looking for a costume designer that can be doubled with one of the cast members, and we're also looking for an assistant set and technical designer to help them with lighting, sound, AV, and set.
So auditions, again, on Friday and Saturday, and same with interviews. We'll be doing like group auditions, which I feel like everyone's already said they're going to be really fun, and like a lot of games and everything.
Scary.
And yeah, not scary at all. So we'd love to see you all there. Yeah, thank you. And a good morning to you. Yeah, Dad, it went really well.
To think about. Like I said, pretty much as soon as I can get on my laptop, I'll be uploading this PowerPoint to our Sprung Facebook page, as well as to the 2019 Theatre Media group, so you'll be able to look through it, see what was on offer, refresh yourself. I've had a couple of people ask me, Alex, what if I can't make auditions? Come see me after this and we'll have a bit of a chat and we'll figure out something for you. If you can make like one day and not the other day, or you can make an hour of one day, absolutely come along, audition and interview for as many as you can in that amount of time you can. But then still come have a chat to me and we'll figure it all out for you. I had something else to say, but I'm gonna let Cassie talk first so I can think of it.
So the next thing that I wanted to bring up is our company wear. So the first order of company wear has already gone through, but we want the second one out by next Wednesday. So if you don't get your company wear ordered to me by next Wednesday, you might miss out. So at the interviews and auditions, there will be forms if you need to fill them out for sizing, as well as once you've been accepted into one of the teams, which you will have before the due date for the next round of ordering, there'll be messages sent through into those big Facebook groups that will be created to make sure that we can get everything in by that Wednesday, so the next order can be in and we can have them within the next 2 weeks from that order date. So we're looking at a $29 top and a $35 jumper, depending on what you kind of want to go for, and they've got the show names on the back. So get excited for those. Exact prices and guidelines, deadlines will be on our Facebook groups ASAP.
I remembered. So, 2 things. First thing is, it's already left my head. Second thing is, make sure, it's a bit of a week. Make sure you hang out after here, come have a chat to the companies. If you have more questions, just want to chat about the roles, absolutely hang out. And the thing I had to say was, Okay, so really just reiterating that once that schedule for the auditions and interviews comes out, make sure you read it carefully. There are a couple of companies that would like you to do a group audition before you come for an individual audition, if they are running two. If they're just running one or the other, it's all fine. But just read that really carefully. In most cases, it's better to do the group audition first and then see if you're needed for the individual. All of that being said, get pumped!